Hello, Marcus Boston. Quick video today, and I'm going to talk with you about why you can afford to investigate your baby's traumatic brain injury. When I talk to families, one of the main questions that comes up, and understandably so, is I'm asking some questions, but I'm really not sure how we can afford to do something like this. How can we afford to hire an attorney, and how much money do we have to put forward? Or are you going to be charging us by the hour, or do we got to put down payment money? I've heard all of it. And so what I want to help you understand in this video is that when you're looking to move in this direction, or you have questions, what you should be asking, or what you should be researching when you're talking to an attorney or a law firm, is whether they will handle your case, these types of cases, birth injury, birth trauma, medical malpractice, whether they will take your case on what is called a contingency fee agreement. Now, you may be asking yourself, all right, Marcus, contingency fee agreement, what is that? I'm not familiar with that term. All I've heard in the past is that you go to a lawyer's office and they tell you how much it's going to cost, and you put money down and they do the work. A contingency fee agreement does not work like that. What a contingency fee agreement is that it is an agreement between you and the attorney or the law firm. And what it will allow the lawyer to do is it will allow them to be able to essentially put the money up. If they think that you have a viable case, they will put the money up to push the case forward for you. And then if there is a settlement, or if there's a verdict in your favor, then they will take the cost, the money they had to put up, and they will take their legal fee off of the recovery. And so this contingency fee agreement is really important, because what it can do is it can allow you to speak with the attorney and to be able to have your case investigated and worked up if it's a viable case. It allows you to be able to move forward and pursue the matter on behalf of yourself, or if it's a traumatic brain injury for a child, on top of your, with your baby also. And so this contingency fee agreement is really important, because a lot of people are not really familiar with this contingency fee agreement type of setup. And I want to just talk with you today about a contingency fee agreement. Now, remember, I'm just giving you the basics in regards to a contingency fee agreement. What you still have to take into consideration is that contingency fee agreement is a contract between you and the attorney or the law firm. And this agreement, it should be in writing, and it should outline the terms that are important for this agreement. And remember, I talked about earlier costs. In other words, the attorney putting up the cost. You need to understand, what do the terms say about things like this? Are you responsible to pay back costs if you win the case, or if you get a settlement? Or are you responsible to pay back costs regardless of whether you win the case or whether the settlement or not? You're still responsible for the cost. So that's one thing that you definitely want to make sure that you understand. The terms of the fee agreement, costs are important, and the legal fee aspect, that is also important. The percentage as to what the lawyer will take on the settlement, or if there is a jury verdict, you want to make sure that you understand those terms. In addition to that, if there's any confusion as to the terms, in other words, you just don't understand what a term is saying, you need to make sure you voice those concerns before you sign the fee agreement. Make sure that you allow the attorney to explain to you what the terms mean, and you need to take as much time as you need to be able to understand the terms before signing. Because remember, like I said, a contingency fee agreement is still a contract in its most basic sense. So I just wanted to help you understand that contingency fee agreement aspect of this, and why you can, if the attorney does do a contingency fee agreement, why you can afford to be able to have your case investigated if your child has suffered a traumatic brain injury. For our law firm here at Boston Law Group LLC, this is how we do these cases. We do them on a contingency fee basis. And so it's important for you to understand that topic. If you have more questions, if you'd like to speak with me about your baby's traumatic brain injury, maybe you're here today because your baby has maybe an HIE, hypoxic ischemic encephalopathy diagnosis, and you have questions surrounding what was going on in labor and delivery and what caused this diagnosis. Maybe you have a subsequent cerebral palsy or CP diagnosis, and you have questions about that, there's a telephone number down below. What I invite you to do is to go ahead and pick up the phone and call us. I speak with families like yours all the time about these types of issues. When you call my office, just let my secretary let them know that you would like to get on my calendar and talk with us about your baby story in an informational session that we can do, and we can get more information about what happened. Remember, it costs nothing for you to initially call and talk with us about your child's story. One more thing before I go. I practice law in the state of Maryland, and I know that this video is on the internet and it's going to be on social media and some of those other types of platforms. From time to time, we'll have individuals that are not in Maryland and they will call us and they will ask us if we can help them. Understand that if you are not in Maryland and you reach out to us, and if this is something that we think we can assist you with, that we have to use what we call co-counsel or local counsel. In other words, an attorney in your state. And that's something that we can work with you on, but I just want to make sure that you understand, if you're not in Maryland, that co-counsel or local counsel aspect of things. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the childbirth injury and medical malpractice attorneys practicing law in the state of Maryland at Boston Law Group, LLC. We'll talk with you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.